Week 13, and we have our top 5 best bets of the week. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video where we give you a bonus pick. We have a live underdog at plus 300 this week, and you don't want to miss it. It all starts right now. Thanks for joining us. We welcome you into Grandstand Bettors. I'm Matt from grandstandbettors.com. Go check us out, become part of our family, but at the very least, hit that subscribe button. You want to get all those free picks, free plays? We give them out every single week. And without further ado, let's dive in to this week's top 5 best bets of NFL Week 13. And we're going to start with a great matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. Arizona Cardinals are coming off a difficult loss to the New England Patriots, 20-17. The Rams, same thing. They are coming off kind of a heartbreaking loss to the San Francisco 49ers, 23-20. They look both to bounce back this week. The Rams are a little ahead of Arizona in the playoff chase. Arizona does need this game. They've lost, I think, 3 out of the last 4. Not looking good for the Cardinals right now. They do have a little bit of an injury issue. Fitzgerald is going to be out, and they have a couple questionable in their secondary. On the flip side, you have the LA Rams. They got a lot of people banged up on their secondary, and this might allow Murray to have a couple, or a bounce-back game from the last 2 games where he hasn't looked that great. This game is going to answer, is Murray an elite quarterback? That's really what this game comes down to. On the other hand, is Goff a good quarterback? Goff threw for 198 and 2 interceptions last week, and he's thrown 6 interceptions over the last 4 games. Now, that's not good. That's not Goff, if you will. And I'm going to tell you right now that the Murray that we saw at the beginning of the season, where he was rushing for 100 and throwing for 3 touchdowns, and him and Kirk were on the same page, and Hopkins was getting 10, 12 targets, that's kind of been by the wayside the last 2 weeks. Now, Kenyon Drake, he is having a good last 6 weeks, 6 touchdowns, last 6 games. He looks pretty good. And I think the game comes down to how Drake runs. If Drake can have a running game, that will open some play action. Kyler Murray will be able to throw and utilize his legs, and they'll probably put up quite a bit of points on this stingy LA Rams defense. If Drake can't get the running game going, it might be hard-pressed to score on such a great D. The D of the Rams has not given up more than 24 points since week 3. So, where do we go with this? It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to which quarterback can make the play, which one wants to bring their name into an elite quarterback conversation. We think it's Murray. Murray needs to win this. If Murray plays as well as he did in the first 3-4 weeks of the season, they're going to win this outright. But we're going to take them plus 3. So our 5th best bet of the week is Arizona Cardinals plus 3. Moving into number 4 best bet of week 13, it's going to be those New England Patriots and the San Diego Chargers matchup. Patriots, as we just mentioned, beat Arizona last week 20-17. Cam Newton is not playing well for the Patriots. Tom Brady is getting the better end of the deal of going to Tampa Bay. Cam Newton not looking great. He has more rushing touchdowns with 9 than he has passing touchdowns, which is 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in week 13 and he only has 4 passing touchdowns. That's ridiculous. On the other side, with the Chargers, you have the Rookie of the Year. You got Justin Herbert. This guy threw for 316 last week, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, in a 27-17 loss to Buffalo. Now, his whole team isn't there, but he for sure is there, and he's going to be Rookie of the Year hands down. I think in Vegas right now, he's like minus 1,000 to be Rookie of the Year. He's that good. It actually really helped that Joe Burrow got injured, but we digress. Moving back to the Patriots, they have a good rushing game if Harris can get things going. We can't take last game as an example. The Patriots and the Cardinals game was awful. If you watched that game, you probably fell asleep in the first quarter. Nobody could move the ball. Nobody could score points. It was just awful. Now, how Harris rushes is really going to open up if Cam can throw the ball downfield. They only throw the ball an average of like 5-6 yards per pass play. That is not good. Their defense, on the other hand, is very banged up. They have, I think, 18 players on their an NFL injury roster or a questionable roster, as you would call it. On the flip side, Chargers give up so many points. Their defense gives up 29 points per game in like the last 6 games. They are playing in San Diego, so it's good weather. You don't have to worry about rain, wind, anything like that. It's good conditions. So because of the two banged up defenses on both sides, and because they're both awful at defense and they give up a ton of points, we're going to take the over. The over was set at 47.5. Could have moved. These are our member plays that we give out every Wednesday or Thursday to our members. So that's the lines you're getting. It could have moved. Probably not much, but whatever the over is, I'm going to take it. So we had it at over 47.5. So best bet number 4, Patriots, Chargers, over 47.5. Moving on to our best bet number 3 of the week. It's between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Boy, were these fun games last week. The Falcons beat Oakland 43-6. Now, I know we had a lot of people comment on our video, why would you take the Falcons +3 in that spot? That's why. And you know what? We're going to get to comments later, and we'll call some people out later and thank some people for their input. But let's get back to the Falcons. Man, their defense looked good. They're 4-7 on the year. They haven't looked spectacular, but they have started looking better in the last few weeks. They got some injuries, though. Gurley's questionable, which, that might not hurt them. Hill and Smith both came in last week, combined for 110 yards and a touchdown. Jones still questionable. You really want to have him back, especially against the Saints. He was back against the Saints last time they played a couple weeks back, and the Saints won that game. So you really want him back, because if he's out, it's not going to look pretty for the Falcons in this matchup. On the flip side, you have the Saints 9-2. They beat the Broncos 31-3. A lot of people said, why did you take the over last week? I'm going to tell you why. Because we made the video before all the quarterbacks were gone off the Broncos. But you know what? There were still 34 points. We feel pretty confident we would have hit that over if Locke would have played. Again, we digress. Let's stay with this week. Injuries with the Saints. You have a lot of secondary who's out. You have Harris, a wide receiver, out. You have Callaway, who's out. A lot of questionable people. They're going to have problems, and I don't think they'll be able to hold the Falcons to 9 points like they did last time. Really what this is going to come down to, Taysom Hill. How far can he carry this team? Do you know that the Saints have never lost with Brees out? That's just unfathomable, right? Matt Ryan with the Falcons, this guy's a stat machine. He throws for stats. He only had 155 with 2 touchdowns and an interception last week. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of garbage time for him to pick up his stats. I think New Orleans gets out to a large lead in this 1-2 touchdowns easy in the first half. And that's going to allow Ryan to throw the ball quite a bit. Latavius Murray last week for the Saints, 19 rushes, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamara didn't even have 50 yards in the game, maybe 50, 60, something like that. But he was very held in check. But he didn't need to because of what Murray did. The last time out, New Orleans won 24-9. But the defenses are banged up on both sides. And because of that, instead of taking just the Saints, we're actually going to take the over. It opened at 46. I actually think it went down to 45. So take over 45, take over 46. We're good with both. I don't expect this to be a number that goes over by 15, 20 points. But I will say this. The Saints are going to be in the lead in this game. And Matt Ryan, all he does when he's behind is throw the ball. He's going to throw 40 times. And I expect him to pick up 1-2 scores late in this game to push this game over. Something like a 24-23 game, 27-24. That's what you're looking at. So our best third bet of NFL Week 13, Falcons, Saints, over 46 or 45 if you can get it at that. Moving into our top 2, these are our really big best bets of the week. You're going to drop, because we're taking the Lions. The Lions +3. Yeah, the Lions lost 41-28 to the Houston Texans on Thanksgiving Day, and it was an awful loss. They dropped to 4-7. Patricia was fired immediately, and that's how their days have gone since then. They're playing the Chicago Bears. Not much better. They lost 41-25 to Green Bay, dropping them to 5-6. Matt Nagy called the team out last week, and I got to be honest with you, I don't think that's the right move to do with a team. I don't think as a young coach you want to call out a team, and that's exactly what he did. The Chicago defense, Mack is questionable, although I think he's going to play, but they have a banged up defense a little bit, and Robinson hurt himself at practice on Friday. So he's actually questionable for this game. On the flip side, Swift is going to come back in a limited participant, or as a limited participant in the game. Amendola's coming back. Galladay's still going to be out. But even last week when all three of those guys were out, you had Stafford throw for 295 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, and he looked pretty good. Like I said, they're coming off 10 days rest, and they just got rid of the one thorn in their butt, Patricia. I have seen a lot of coaches fired, and a lot of teams respond immediately. If you remember earlier this season, I think it was Bill O'Brien got fired with the Texans, and they responded the next game after as well. And I think maybe won that outright or covered that game. But I think the energy level is going to be up in this game. I think you have the Lions here who want to show Patricia that he was the problem, not everyone else. The defense is not great on the Lions, I'll tell you that. But Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback on the other side. Mitch Trubisky is awful. This guy played the Lions in, I think it was week 1, and he did throw for 2 touchdowns, but they were both in the fourth quarter. He actually came back in that game. They were down 23-6. Trubisky led them for a win. I don't think that happens here. The Lions' revenge spot, energetic spot, because they want to show Patricia that they're better than what he created them into. Take the Lions +3. I would take a money line, but I got to be honest. Be safe. Take the 3. Maybe Trubisky does bring them back again, wins by 1, 2, and you still cover. So second best bet, I can't believe we're saying this, the Detroit Lions +3 over the Chicago Bears. And that brings us up to our number 1 best bet of the week. And it is going to be a fun game to watch. It's between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Philadelphia Eagles had a backdoor cover, if you got a good number, on, I think, was that Sunday or Monday Night Football against Seattle. That late Hail Mary pass, really, to Rodgers in the end zone gave them a 23-17 loss, giving some people a bad night of betting. That dropped the Eagles to 3-7-1. On the flip side, Green Bay destroyed the Bears we were just talking about. They won 41-25. They're 8-3. Aaron Rodgers looks like he wants to take this team to the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you right now, Aaron Rodgers can score 30, 35 points easily, hands down, against anybody. They've done it 8 out of 11 times, over 30 points. Their defense, though, gives up points. They've given up 28 points at least 8 of 11 times. Now, Wentz, he looked not half bad. One thing I do want to tell Philly, stop using Jalen Hurts. You don't need to put Jalen Hurts in. Just use Wentz. And I'm sure that's going to give him a little more confidence every snap. You bring in Jalen Hurts on a 2nd and 9, and then you bring Wentz back in on a 3rd and 9. Like, it doesn't do anything for your offense, so stop it. If you don't like that either, get in the comments and tell me how bad of a coaching decision it is to use quarterback by committee in the NFL. Anyways, back to our number 1 bet. And you know what? We're going to just tell you it. We're taking the over 47, Packers and Philadelphia Eagles. Gobert is looking great. He had 7 for 75. Wentz ended up going for 15 for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Their pass offense is actually pretty decent, only allowing up 170 yards in their last 3 games. But the problem is, Aaron Rodgers can find anybody. If Devontae Adams has covered or is covered against maybe Rudy Ford or Slay, he's going to find somebody else. He's got Vladis Scantling. He's got his tight end Tunyon. He's got everybody. These guys are phenomenal at getting open, and Aaron Rodgers is going to score 35 points, hands down. It's going to happen. Book it, over 47, Packers, Eagles, number 1 best bet. Now, before we get to our bonus pick, I did want to get back, and I told you all last week that we were gonna give you a shout out if you commented on your best bets. So real quick, I wanted to go through some of our comments. Jack Jr. had over 50 in the Carolina and Minnesota game. That was great. Although Carolina, you had as well winning, not so much. Jack Jr. also was one of those guys on the Oakland Raiders destroying the Atlanta Falcons. How'd that work out for you, Jack Jr.? Not too well. Guy gave us a ton of picks. His Saints under 1. I don't know if I can give you a 5-star on that, considering you gave us that pick after the Broncos quarterbacks were out. But nonetheless, great win. Miami -7 was a winner. Panthers +3 was a winner. And the Tennessee +3 was a winner. So great job, Guy, or G, however you say it. Carter, ouch, man. Not a believer. You faded all of our winning picks. Come back this week. Fade us again. That would be great for our members. They'd enjoy that. Smack Daddy, Matt, thanks for letting us know that Allen was a Razorback. Yes, I'm not going to give the person's name, but thank you to the one person who said Google it. Yes, we could Google everything, but if we did, we wouldn't have you lovely people commenting and engaging with us, and that's what we want. So continue doing that. Jawan, thanks, man. Or we were supposed to thank you later. You said the Giants in Minnesota. They both won. You didn't give us if it was a spread or money line. I hope it was a spread for Minnesota, and hope it was a money line for the Giants. The Giants really screwed up that -6 last week. We were on that. That was a bad beat at the end. Jeff, you Browns under. You did not like it. Too bad. You didn't think I was right when I said it was going to be a shootout. It was a shootout. Luke, Chiefs win. Yeah, that's right. And I believe we told you as long as the Tampa Bay Bucks cover, and guess what? They sure did by that hook. We got Steven. You wanted some player props. You know what? We told you Chubb wasn't going to score. And you know what? He probably wouldn't have. But Kareem Hunt got hurt in that game. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. Chubb ended up scoring. Only Here. Their name was Only Here. They said a Ravens win. Well, I'm going to give you a pass, Only Here. Ravens did not win, but you were also thinking the game was not going to be on Wednesday afternoon, so we'll give you a pass. Nelson, Miami by 14. Nelson, you killed it. The Jets are horrible, 0-11. Who knows? Dat T, New Orleans by 14. Again, you gave us that after the quarterbacks were out, but that's a good bet anyway. Ryan said we were dummies for taking the Falcons over the Raiders. Well, that's not great for you because we're right on that. But the worst, I hate this, and I hope it's not true. I hope this is some guy just putting this out there. But Steve, I'm going to call you out, man. You said you put $19,000 on the Raiders, and I didn't even have to answer. A lot of people commented that it was going to be a rough night for you because that was not a winner. But thanks, guys, for commenting. I want your best bets. Put them in the comments right now. We'll give you a shout-out next week. But before we go, bonus pick. I told you there's a live underdog in NFL Week 13, and you're going to hate me, but it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars play the Minnesota Vikings, and they're going to win. The Jacksonville Jaguars are starting Mike Glennon again, and Mike Glennon against the Browns looked very good. Mike Glennon is a veteran quarterback, and Kirk Cousins is a choke artist. I know the Jags are, I think, maybe 10 or plus on the line, but take them straight up. You'll get 3-1, put 1 unit on it, and take the Jags on the money line. That is a live underdog this weekend. Real quick, before we go, let's just recap. Our 5th best bet was the Arizona Cardinals +3 over the Rams. Our 4th best bet was the Patriots over 47.5 against the Chargers. Falcons over 46 or 45, depending on what you can get, over the Saints. The Detroit Lions +3 over the Bears. We love them coming back after they fired their coach and stealing a game. And our number 1 best bet is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers over 47. Put some money on the Jags on that underdog. Sit back, relax, enjoy NFL Week 13. And as always, let us do the work while you do the winning.